Hey, okay, let's get started with the day. Load up my pockets. I'm not sure if I can film here, I'll need to ask. But basically I'm picking up just a ton of trash at a construction site on a new house. And yeah, slap on a good podcast and get to work. It'll, you know, it's kind of like I think it'll be just straight up 7 hours of picking trash, which I've already done a few days of, so that's one thing I'm learning is hard work and like low, you know, this is low on the totem pole of tasks to be doing, but pays. I'm gonna talk to them and say like, hey, you know, I like working with you guys seem cool, but you know my situation, I kind of need money, and so I'll have to, I don't know, I need to figure out a good way to say it, like, hey, is there any way you can work with me on the price that I'm getting paid? Because they've seen I'm not a bad worker. So that'll be interesting to see. If they say like, well, you know, we don't really need an extra hand and we're mostly just doing this to help you out, then I can be like, hey, yeah, for sure. It's been great working with you guys. I'll probably start picking up other jobs next week, if that's cool with you. And then, like, you know, kind of have the conversation with them. So I think that's the plan. But for now, we're just gonna slap on a podcast or Nordic war music, one of my favorite things, and get to work. Hey, I just finished my hours and hours and hours of trash picking. So it was actually oddly fun.
Quarter mile, turn left onto Warner Creek Drive.
But goddamn, it's windy. I'm not sure how bad the audio is gonna be. I finished the trash picking for the day. I did like solid. Turn left onto Warner Creek Drive. I took an hour.
Turn left to stay on Warner Creek Drive.
I took an hour lunch break, and then 6 hours of trash picking. Pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. Surprising amount. Just being able to like see the progress slowly pick away from trash spot to trash spot. Yeah, I've been, like I mentioned last night, I've been trying.
600 feet, turn left onto South Hidden Creek Drive.
It's annoying me. I feel like I've been making more progress and distinct progress when I keep a singular focus. So like I'm gonna do task A. After I've done it to its full completion, then I'll move on to doing the next thing. So I applied for food stamps. I applied for monetization. On my list, I have to do some more stuff for YouTube monetization to continue that process. So I have continue YouTube monetization. And then I read a comment and a guy was like, you should be able to bike way easier. I'm like, I don't disagree. This bike's not in perfect condition, but that being said, because I'm spending so much time just getting around, I am gonna try to optimize it. So I'm gonna look at, he made like a list. I'm just gonna go through the list that he made. Go through the list he made and then fix the things that I can. So my wheel, I know my wheel bearing's super messed up because it wobbles. My wheel wobbles really bad. I don't know how to fix that. And then my brakes are rubbing a little bit. So those are both things that would definitely slow me down. And then my seat height's off a little bit. Anyway, it's on my list. And when the time comes, I'm gonna start looking at that and do as much as I can, in one session, so that's probably gonna look like doing some research into fixing the issues that I know of already. Whew. Okay. Now we're gonna go, I'm gonna hit supper. I haven't showered in 3 days and I've been working all day every day, so I'm a dirty boy. So I'm gonna hit a shower, and then we got the cleaning gig tonight yet. So lots of stuff. This guy who's paying me, so I realized I could not make it to the soup kitchen in time and back for my cleaning shift, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go find some food. But my man said he'd treat me here at the gas station. My employer, I should say, who I'm working for, we were gonna meet at the gas station and he was gonna pay me for today's work at the trash picking up. Anyway, he treated me to a sandwich and a jerky stick, 23 grams of protein. Very kind and also very good. I usually never like sandwiches, but when you haven't eaten much, nothing better. Just finished up work for the day. I'm working so hard for not the most amount of money, $105 a day. I mean, it's good. By no means am I saying it's better than no work, but I talked to my mechanic guy, and I'm not sure if they want to pay more. I don't know exactly. I mentioned it. The big boss man who would be able to make the decision on my pay isn't going to be in till Monday, which I think is okay. Hoping to book this weekend again. If we can get another 250 made this weekend, that'll be awesome. Just feeling the pressure because even now it's a little more chilly, and it's just gonna get colder and colder. So and I don't have that much time. I have 40 days about. But oh gosh dang, I had so I was at the gas station where this guy was meeting me to pay me for my work today. Working. So then after that, I was taking a look at my bike to see if my rear wheel wobbles really bad. I need to do some tightening. Anyway, this kid stopped by, about my age, he's 19, and he was like, "Oh bro, what's wrong with your bike?" And then he said, "You're trying to get somewhere?" And I told him that I was trying to get to work. Excuse the noise. And then he was like, "You need a lift? I got a bike rack for my," I think he had a GT Mustang. This sucker the car looked awesome. Anyway, he had a bike rack, so he gave me a ride to work. And it sounds like he has a truck he might want to give me or sell me, because I kind of told him what I'm doing. And he thought it was cool. So we'll see. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping we can work something out there, because a vehicle would be a game changer. People say I can't live out of a vehicle in the winter. Probably shouldn't live out of a vehicle, but I think it's possible. Ideally, I'd get an apartment. Ideally, I'd get both, because the problem is with just an apartment, it's going to be hard to move around because it's going to be cold and windy, and biking is going to be a pain in the butt. If we got a car and an apartment in the next 40 days, we can do everything we need to. And I gotta fix my bike. It requires lots of stamina to operate.
West Ellsworth Road.
So apartment and then vehicle before winter.
1 mile.
Realistically, I want to say it might not be doable to get both. We're looking at an apartment with a deposit. It's going to be about for the next. So an apartment with a deposit for first month is probably going to be around $1,200. I'm on pace to make that this month. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'll have $1,200 in my pocket by the end of this month. That'll cover all of September for my housing. Theoretically, I might be able to get a beater rig for like $1,500 by stacking cash and working all of September. Now we have to remember that vehicle might have issues, but even something to get me cold through the cold months would be amazing. So a lot of options. I'm not sure what the best path forward is yet. I think I can land a house, an apartment, and if I need to walk 2 miles in the cold every day to get to work, 2 miles and then the bus, I don't know, that's chill. I can do that. Get some really good winter gear, like coats. So I do think getting a place to stay is plan A. Plan B is if I can't find a place to stay, then we go ahead and find a vehicle to live out of, hopefully a van. And I should have about 3K stacked by the end of September. So, you know, a van wouldn't be ideal, but no sidewalk. Who needs a sidewalk? A van wouldn't be ideal, but I have talked to somebody who was homeless for a while, and he's lived out of a van here in Michigan. So it can be done. He actually thought that'd be better to go for opposed to looking for an apartment. But I don't know, I think the apartment would make more sense. Just so, if the issue is if the van breaks down and I can't get to work and now I can't sleep, you know, and I can't, everything would be put on hold, and there's not as much stability with a van. With an apartment, the stability should be pretty locked in as long as I make my payments. And I guess I can look at the jobs and figure out what I'm gonna do if I don't have a vehicle and it's winter out. I think that would be the smart place. So find a job that's close enough to either bus fare or walking distance that I can get to, you know, without needing to bike. Then worst case scenario, we're walking to work, or we're just getting through the winter, making our rent payments from the job we have, and then still, you know, there's no these sidewalks are misleading because that's how I popped my tires one day. Anyway, then we can at least make it through the winter. And then come next summer, we'll be completely set. We have a stable roof over our heads, and we can keep going at a baseline. Especially just with an apartment, you know, I can cook, I can buy groceries, store my items, lock my door when I go to sleep, shower. So I do think that would be awesome. But I also am not gonna get scammed again. I didn't really enjoy that experience. So I would rather honestly do anything than it was kind of a dumb, I mean, yeah. It's a little different when you need something very bad or really, really want it, you become a little more desperate. And I talked about that where like
600 feet, turn right on the lower road.
thrival mindset versus survival. And when you're fighting for each meal and your roof over your head, like whether that be a tent or a park bench, you know, you're in that survival mindset and you make dumb. Okay, I'm back home. I applied another coat of the water proofant. I stopped at Myers as well. Purchased lots of the snack bars. I'm looking for the discounts. Cheapest per ounce is what I'm looking for. So far, the cheapest per ounce has been Pop-Tarts at 19 cents. Most expensive are these granola bars, which were 29 cents an ounce. Anyway, kind of random. Made $105 today, so we're good on that front. My snacks were $12. I don't like spending money because it's like every $12 I spend is $12 I can't spend on rent or a car. But I also got to eat, so I do need some food, and that'll be good. Tomorrow's plan is work, keep working. Yeah, the bike's getting worse and worse, which is sad. So I need to figure something out with that. Yeah, I do need to figure something out with that. I either need to get a new bike or fix it or something, because it's harder and harder to pedal, and eventually it's not going to pedal at all. But I guess that's a problem for tomorrow. I'm too tired to think stuff through tonight. So good night. I will see everybody tomorrow. See everybody tomorrow.